What's going on, guys? Coming at you with the Soul Survival Art Explained video right here. So I'm just going to get right into it. So pretty much when I first made this band, I had no artwork, no concept of what I wanted the colors to be or anything like that. So after, I think it took like a couple of months after the first singer joined, it was just me and her. I kind of came up with the concept since the EP was kind of already, being written and it was more kind of like a chaos and order kind of thing. I was like, okay, well, I figured I want the colors to be like red and black and blue and white, to symbolize like chaos, order, peace, harmony, destruction, all that kind of stuff. So, and I can't draw it all, right? I can't draw it all. So I decided to just like make a little S and fill it in with color. And that was pretty much it, just so I could have like a picture of something on, the account page or whatever. And my singer at the time, who was like a biology major, thought it looked like an amoeba and didn't like it, right? So she was like, "Well, let's just redesign it." So I was like in yeah, this was back when I was in college. I was like in the library. I forgot who I was with. I think I was hanging out with Kat for some reason in the library, and I took like the ruler and I made like a sharper logo. It reminded me more kind of like a broadsword or whatever. And so she was like, okay, that looks kind of cool. Let me digitize that. And I was like, all right, cool. So she took it and turned it into this right here, which I really liked. And we actually made that into shirts. And we actually, had a few like band shirts, And then I forgot it was on Yik Yak. If anyone remembers Yik Yak. And I put up a audition flyer and it had that logo on it. And someone said it looks like the SS symbol. And then I went and looked at the SS symbol. I was like, oh, okay, they're correct. So need a new logo again after that. And I can't really design logos for nothing. So then Ket took the other logo that my singer based that one off of and digitized that, and we used that for a while. It didn't look super SSE; it just looked more sleek and kind of more professional, right? So we had that logo for a while, and then once the second singer got into the band, she, finished recording all the vocal parts for Jar of Pandora, right? Just needed mixing and mastering. So Ket thought it was appropriate to make a new logo, so he made this one right here and I liked it. Wasn't too bad. Other band members didn't really like it too much, but it was new, and we used it as like an announcement trailer because Jar was supposed to be coming out and everything like that. But it never did, so whatever. And then I don't know like how this just managed to happen or whatever, but I was scrolling through like Facebook and there's like a page that I go on for like people who like design like album covers and stuff. And I was just scrolling through it, just seeing, like who makes cool stuff, like I think would work for the band, like can afford. And I scrolled, and this dude named Jason popped up, and he was with Sad Squid Studios, which I'll link in the description right there. And something just told me like message the guy, so I messaged him, right? And so told him about the concept and everything, the original artwork, showed him some of the music and stuff like that, and he was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And so I was like, "Well, how much can you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I can do like this many for this much." I was like, "Okay, cool, no problem." So we did that, and then I think about like a day he had like 3 or 4 different versions of like the full Soul Survival name and just like the two S's as a logo. And so I was like, wow, those are really, really good. He's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna keep developing these, and then I'll get back to you when they're done. So I think it took only like 4 or 5 days, and he had like 2 or 3 different versions of like the whole name Soul Survival logo, and like 2 or 3 different versions of just the SS. And man, they looked awesome. I'll put them up here on the screen. There's like a black version of the SS that I actually have as my phone background for my lock screen. It's been my lock screen background for I think it's for as long as I've had the artwork. And so he came out with those, and those were just amazing. Like there's like the colored SS one I use as a watermark for the Soul Survival videos, and then whenever anyone needed our name for flyers or anything, I gave him like that logo, and he just did an amazing, amazing job, and it looked awesome. And oh my god, I plug him anytime I can. Go check out Jason at Squid Studios. Dude does really quick, really great work. Like awesome artwork, definitely fit the vibe of the band. The colors were amazing. It has like that little mystical kind of feel to it, that like a power metal band should have, and but it has like when you see Survival, it has that like harshness to it, like bringing in like the Red River vibes and stuff like that. And oh my god, the band loved it. It was great. Like he did a great job. Amazing job. So that's pretty much the history of the logos and the word art, right? So the music art, like the album art and stuff that we come up with. So for Ascend, when we released Ascend, I took Chinese in high school, I really like anime and stuff, so I was like, let me have something like, have like one single Chinese character in there if I can make sure that Ascend is just one word, right? So I found the kanji for that. And so I kind of came up with two different concepts in my head, and I had an artist who was gonna like make it for me, but I really didn't know how to properly describe it to him because I have a hard time describing stuff in my head to people, especially since I can't draw. So what I did was I got like a little drawing pad and I drew up like both of those concepts, right? So I drew up the little kanji in the circle, and then above it is like rays of sunshine, daytime, happiness, and then below it is like lightning and chaos and stuff like that. Then I drew another one that was it was like three different bars, and it was like daytime, but above the kanji there's like rain and stuff like that, and then below it there's like fire, so like still that chaos and order thing. And I was like, hey, here's these two, if you could like digitize, professionalize these two, and then see which one looks better, then we'll use that. So I gave them both to him, and he was like, okay, well, this is how these look. And I was like, okay, I like this one. He was like, okay, cool. So he took the stuff I drew and colored up and then made it look good. And then that ended up being the artwork for Ascend. And for we released Dark and Light as a single before we actually released the full EP Ascend. And we did that because there was supposed to be some kind of compilation CD at Welcome to Rockville that year, but I don't think it ever got made or anything. So we had my first singer's friend who was an artist. She did the artwork for Dark and Light. And so that took about probably like a month. And then, the concept of Dark and Light is like running toward, you know, whatever that light may be. It may be like salvation, it may be like sobriety, it may be like peace or anything like that. So she made this concept. She incorporated the blue and red colors really nicely, and she kind of like drew them around like a beam of light, and it was just like this mummy like looking up into it, which was really, really cool. I love that concept. So that's how the artwork for Dark and Light came about. And we went to release Order Born from Chaos and Red River. We also had no artwork, right? We also didn't have any album artwork as a whole, right? Because there was supposed to be an album and it had a name and a title and a concept and everything. And it was a concept album because, of course, it was. And so for the album art, I was like, well, I want to have, since it all starts with the jar of Pandora being opened, I want to have like a bleeding jar, just like in a like a kind of like a little area of blood, beneath it, right? So I like drew up a concept for that, and it had like the earth in the background as well, and it had like a void in the back, and there was smoke and lightning and everything coming up, and so I sent it to him, and then when he digitized it, it looked kind of too busy, so I was like, okay, well, can you take out that and that and that, and then just put that there, and then he was like, okay, so I think we had like 3 or 4 different versions of that until we finally settled on the picture that was supposed to be the artwork for the album. And then for Red River, it was pretty much just like snakes and evil stuff coming out of a jar and like a river flowing toward the view of the viewer or whatever. So I drew that basic stuff up. That didn't take long. And then he digitized that, and that became the artwork for Red River. Now for Order Born from Chaos was supposed to be the last track of this album. So I wanted to do, since the Jar of Pandora, the concept of the album was pretty much a Jar of Pandora gets open. That's the first song. Then every song after that is one deadly sin, right? Because the deadly sins get out of the jar and take over the world and whatever, blah 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 blah. And then Order Born from Chaos is like the ninth track, And that track kind of like, the person goes back and gathers the sins, tries to repent for all the stuff they've done by unleashing the sins, blah, 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 and they gather them back up, So I wanted the artwork to reflect that, so I had him be the seven heavenly virtues instead, like, patience and temperance and stuff like that. So I didn't really know how to like make that look cool at all, or had any concept of how to really do it. So I just pretty much took like a trophy, like a soccer trophy I had that was a perfect circle, and then I just drew like seven circles that were like concentric, and then I just did the virtues in a different language, to make it, because music unifies us all, universal language, all that stuff. So I just put them all in different languages, and then I just colored them gold around the like gray pencil. I put a gold colored pencil around the gray pencil, and then I sent that off to the artist, and he was like, "Okay, cool, I can do that." So it seemed like a red version and a yellow version. And with the yellow version, of course, that became the artwork for Orderborn Gas right there. Um, yes, that's pretty much all the artwork right now that we have. We're working on some new stuff, and we're working on some new videos as well. So once those other new songs actually do get released, we'll probably have some new artwork for them too. Yeah, links for everything will be down in the description. Squid Studios, Gray Engine Studios helped the artwork. I don't think the other artist who helped has any kind of social media handles for his art. I'll have to check, and if he does, I'll put those down below as well. But wow, this is pretty long for an art explain video. But yeah, that's how all the art came about. You saw the original sketches and all the final products and stuff like that. So it was like I said, I put a lot in this project, and I was very, very involved with like everything, So it was just like everything had to be like this way, so it would look this way, and just this was the one that I was gonna be like, this is what I'm gonna play shows with. This is the one that people are gonna know the most. These are the ones that like I'm gonna have like live videos of to show people. So I was just really, really, really about it, just being like really, really good looking and great. So so yeah, not Rift Dissection will be coming next week for Soul Survival. I'll probably do, since there's so many songs, I might just do like one or two riffs from like two or three songs. I might do like one or two Ascend songs, and then do some Shadow Torch and Red River, maybe a couple other riffs off that. Maybe I'll probably just do like a riff from each song off our set list, probably, and just go through them all. So like we got two different tunings, and we got some awesome parts. So yeah, I'll probably do that. So look out for that next week. Thank y'all so much for listening and watching. If you want to listen to any of the songs off the set list or anything like that, there'll be links for them down in the description. Red Ribbon Orborn Chaos will be down there, since the other ones aren't like finished or really like recorded at all, really. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. If you like to watch. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And rock on.